Hi, this is Brent Grover speaking from Evergreen Consulting for Advanced Supply Chain Solutions powered by IBIS. This month's topic has been investing in e-commerce for distributors. And I thought I'd like to take this opportunity in the final video blog for the month to wrap up this topic and just review some of the things we've talked about, this important subject. It's very timely. IBM recently wrote a study for NAW, Facing the Forces of Change. In that study, it was revealed that quite a large proportion of wholesale distributors are investing heavily in e-commerce. The subject was brought to the front of most people's thinking by the entrance of Amazon Supply with business-to-consumer quality electronic commerce in the wholesale distribution space back in April 2012. And we're recognizing now that customer habits for obtaining information and placing orders have changed rapidly. So an example to look at of big companies and their e-commerce investment is W.W. Grainger, which has a office complex in suburban Chicago, and yet to attract the best and brightest young minds to e-commerce at Grainger, they rented some floors in a downtown office building in Chicago and have 150 plus people at that location working on e-commerce. Grainger has a long history in electronic commerce. Many wholesale distribution companies don't, but looking at the strategies that some smaller wholesalers have followed, one example is a janitorial supplies distributor, well-established company, wanted to start selling parts for repair of janitorial equipment, for example, in their case online. They didn't feel they had the expertise in-house to do it. They bought a small company, an e-commerce company that was already in that business. Another example is an electronics distributor, a larger wholesale distributor that wanted to get into e-commerce in a serious way. They bought an established company that was already in the business of selling one-and-done orders to customers in that space. So three approaches we outlined in this month's discussion. One is, number one, sort of the light approach, investing in e-commerce to keep the customers you've got, trying to keep up. A second approach would be a stronger approach, using e-commerce to go after new customers in your wholesale distribution business. In other words, to go after the customers that competitors are losing because they're not keeping up with the needs of their customers. And then finally, using e-commerce to create a wholly new business within your company or even as a separate company. First approach, the easiest approach, so to speak, keeping the customers you've got, would be really staying close to your customers to understand what their needs are, but also looking very closely at the capabilities of your ERP system and also the ERP system add-ons that are available for e-commerce that are compatible with your system. Another suggestion we would make is to look at the offerings that are available in other ERP systems to see if the system you have is right for your strategy and what you want to do for your customers using electronic commerce. The second approach, a little more investment and effort required, is to use e-commerce as a basic strength of your business to go after your competitor's business. That requires staying quite close to your competitors' customers, of course, and also, and I need to emphasize this, making sure your sales force has the needed capabilities to make e-commerce part of their sales offering. I'll come back to this a little bit later. Now, creating an e-commerce business is an altogether new business for your company. Some wholesale distributors are investing heavily in this. It's an entrepreneurial thing to do. It takes a lot of capital. As I mentioned, some wholesale distributors are actually acquiring established companies in e-commerce in order to gain that expertise. Most typical wholesale distributors don't have the know-how, and they don't have the low-cost structure that's needed to handle small orders, which is what a new e-commerce system often brings to us. So I'm going to come back to the ERP system one more time. Is your vendor keeping up? Do they offer the right tools that you need for e-commerce for whatever strategy you choose for your company and for your customers? Are the right tools available for your system, or do you need to shop around for an entirely new e-commerce, or rather ERP system to accommodate e-commerce for your company? Mentioning the sales force again, they need to be fluent in selling e-commerce and in understanding systems capabilities. They have to sell total procurement costs, which of course is both possession and acquisition costs. They have to be able to sell at the C-level, meaning executive level or boardroom selling. This is not the same as the technical support that our salespeople have been called upon to do in the past. So just to wrap this up for the month, don't overreact. I've said that before. I'll say it again. Don't overreact, but let's not overlook the obvious. Customer habits are changing very rapidly. And the way customers want to obtain information, the way they want to place orders, it's changed. It will continue changing. And customers reserve the right to do things differently every day based on what they want to do. So that's my suggestion to you. Multi-channel marketing is here. Take advantage of it. Make sure your ERP system is up to speed, and that whatever path you choose with electronic commerce, that it's consistent with your company's business strategy. Until next time, this is Brent Grover from Evergreen Consulting for Advanced Supply Chain Solutions, powered by IBIS. Thanks.